America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to excuse me.
Now, it may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
This is your victory. Now, I know you didn't do this just to win an election. I know you didn't do it for me. You did it because you understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead.
You're not gonna believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, up in the corner.
Ooh, Skinman, villain in disguise.
One is in Dodge City, and the other smells like he's there. It's TJ and Coach Casey with the Middle of the Road podcast.
That seems like that was a dig on me, but I'll take it. Welcome to the Middle of the Road.
Like you wrote it about yourself.
I'm Coach Casey. Behind me is Skinman. Over on this screen over here, but he's technically not. He's right down here. He's actually way, I think west is that way. He's way that way in Dodge City. It's my co-host, TJ. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
Are you going to bring the same energy as last show? You got some stuff for us, or did you just come to hang out on the TV screen?
I'm here to hang out on the screen.
All right, but you got some stuff you were saying, or at least you lied to me and said you did.
I'm not coming live from next to a shit pond. I'm actually in my hotel room, so it smells fine.
All right. Well, yeah, if you get enough like fragrances like trapped in the hotel room, you can make it smell better. You open that window up, it's probably going to stink again.
They have special airflow in here to keep it out. It pushes air out instead of air in. So
today is 6/6/23. Happy Pride Month. I'm drinking a Bud Light to celebrate. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future, for the past, and for the present. I don't know. It's been a weird week, and I just want to start out by saying, what's up, fuckers?
You're trying hard, aren't you?
I'm trying. Skinman, what have you been up to since last show, buddy?
Friday, me and a friend of mine went up to Mound Ridge for a barbecue competition.
I thought you were going to say McChicken, and I didn't think that was a place, but okay.
No, it's McNasty's. And we got, actually, he got fourth in brisket and didn't place in ribs or chicken, but we all got first place Friday evening on not getting arrested.
For alcoholism-related reasons?
Well, there was some moonshine, and there was we took a midnight swim in the public pool because they left a gate open.
Well, that's just their fault. I mean, completely.
There was a slide that just beats the shit out of you on the way down.
Is it because the water was off on it?
Yeah, they dumped a little bottle of water down there. So you avoided.
So is this just all dudes like what do you call that? Skinny dipping together?
No, so everybody's wearing boxers.
Well, I was gonna say, and knowing their group, there was no skinny dipping going on.
It
was thick dipping.
It was chunky dunking.
Yeah.
Seems kind of gay.
Well, so that's how you do it, bud.
It's Pride Month. I mean,
it's Pride Month, okay? They were celebrating wherever they were, okay?
It's only gay if the balls are touching. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
So did the police show up?
No.
Okay.
And we were anything but quiet. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, they just don't care. I don't even know if they have cops that work after dark in those towns, so usually you're fine. Before we skip it and don't get to it, today's show is brought to you by the Gary Squires Basketball Camp 2016. He's currently still doing it, but the shirt that he provided for the show for the sponsorship was a 2016 shirt. I'll try to put it where you can see it there. He is a famed Wichita basketball coach of Connor Frankamp. That's really the only player I know that he actually coached that anybody may know. Most people outside of Wichita do not, but some might. On the show today, We don't have no guests, so I'm sorry. We do have a call we'll get to in just a minute, a voicemail that was left for us. I may have committed a hate crime. Should we start there?
Sure, that's a good place.
Okay, we know me, okay? I never on purpose would I commit, or especially during Pride Month, you know. And this one has nothing to do with it, but I was waiting at this stoplight or stop sign leaving my neighborhood forever. And I'm watching this car that switches lanes like 3 times so I can't get out. Finally, last second, like turns and they're going to turn in my neighborhood, which I could have got out a long time ago. And I did this whole like mind blown thing. I just took my head. They were driving by and I took my hands and did the ooh. And I looked over and she was wearing a headscarf. So if you don't realize that I was in frustration and somebody just been to see, you know, like you're doing the blow up thing around, I would assume a Muslim. And
that's like saying what's up.
That's what I said. If that lady is listening, listen, I am sorry. I was mind blown. I wasn't trying to attack anything about you. So, but she went out there going, "Oh my God, another, you know, racist American." So
no, that would be similar to like we've talked about on previous shows, like a Cowboys high five where you jerk each other's dicks and hug each other at the same time. They do the same thing. They're like, "What's up?"
I don't know if that's true at all. I think Muslims traditionally do a lot of daps, and then they have like multiple handshakes. They do like the up, down, low, elbow, shoulder bump. You know, maybe throw a hip in it.
Different color of brown that you're thinking about.
Okay, so maybe I was thinking athletes, not Muslims.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You know, you have your vision of them. I have mine.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to apologize. So we also have my experience at a detox shop, and the person that I got the detox stuff from, I don't know if I should have. And then here's one that I want to get to. So Justin Gurini, I brought that up. The last person to bring Justin Gurini up was Kelly Clarkson because she beat him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know he was freaking Little Sweet?
Little Sweet. Oh, I think I have heard that before.
I did not know that, man. I was mind blown, and I had to go back and see what's Justin Gurini look like now. And I also thought his name was Justin Burini up until Wednesday.
It's Guarini.
Or whatever. Gurini, you know, is how it's spelled. I mean, you can pronounce it how you want. But I was just mind blown because he was on a podcast, and he talked about his experience. Like, he didn't even want that role. He literally went in there and just like fucked it off, and then they kept like, "No, you're awesome for it. You're awesome." He's like, "No, I'm really not." But when you go from American Idol to Little Sweet, you know, so
good for him.
Hey, it's something. He's getting paid. We're not. So, you know, there's that. What do you have for us today, buddy?
All righty. So we were talking about music. You know the song Shaggy, It Wasn't Me.
Okay.
There's no questioning one of Shaggy's most iconic and recognized songs from the 2000s was It Wasn't Me, which many fans believe to be it's about cheating, correct?
Correct. You caught me on the sofa.
Despite the fact
it wasn't me.
Shaggy has been married for a long time and he has 3 daughters. The rapper was asked about the song, about him being a player. He responded, "It was a big misconception with that song because the song is not a cheating song. It's an anti-cheating song. It's just that nobody listened to the record till the end."
Okay.
There's a part in the record where it's a conversation between 2 people. And you have one guy, which is me, at the point giving that bad advice, like, "Yo, bro, how could you get caught? Just tell her it wasn't me." And then at the end, the guy says, "I'm going to tell her that I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. I've been listening to your reasoning. It makes no sense at all. Going to tell her that I'm sorry for the pain that I've caused. You might think that you're a player, but you're completely lost." Shaggy concluded, "Nobody hears that part." That's what the song says.
Yeah, but I still think you could even like still just say, I mean, maybe it wasn't a song about him not cheating, but I think if you caught me on the sofa, it wasn't me. You caught me in the shower, it wasn't me. You know, I guess it could be a masturbation song.
Shaggy's saying, well, I guess it is the guy saying, he goes, "Caught me on the shower, it wasn't me."
Yeah.
Shaggy's saying it wasn't me. And so now hold on, if you think about it, he's singing that part. Shaggy's saying it wasn't me.
Well, Shaggy's saying it wasn't him. It was he's not. I don't know.
Well, Shaggy's speaking for him.
Okay. So she maybe caught somebody else in the shower at their house, or caught somebody else on the couch, or thought she did. Well, I would definitely have considered that a cheating song. Are you going to tell me the one he does about weed smoking isn't about weed smoking either? Can you get to that in a minute and tell me? I mean,
here's another.
God damn it, that's what I want to go to. I'm pissed off at you right now.
I have another secret.
What's your other secret?
Shaggy's not Jamaican.
Really? What is he?
He's faking his accent.
Is he South African, or what is? Is he really white too?
He's an American Marine.
Well, American Marines know. Well, I mean, I think I've heard him talk. Does he always talk with that accent? I think it just sings with
Only
it.
when he sings.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I've heard him talk before, and I guess I don't know if I ever thought he was. I mean, but now that you say it, yeah. I mean, I figured his heritage. Is he even heritage from there or no?
I don't know about that.
He's just
but
an
I know he's
African American, not a Jamaican African American.
Just a regular old African American.
Well, I mean, that's not nothing regular about it. You know, that's an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed off at you. Okay.
At me?
Yeah. I thought you could
Why?
hold out as long as I did.
It's not the same
Skinman.
thing.
Okay, Skinman, can you be our impartial judge, and then we'll let the listeners tweet us, or you're on TikTok or whatever, they can comment too.
Sounds fun. What's the bet?
Okay, so we know that I'm now just over 3 weeks into giving up marijuana. Okay, and weed. My favorite announcer. And TJ is now, well, today apparently officially 3 weeks given up on Mountain Dew. He sent me a picture of Mountain Dew Code Red today as he was drinking it, and said, "This doesn't count because I normally drink regular Mountain Dew." So would that be like me? I normally smoke indica. I can now smoke sativa and say, well, it's different than what I normally use, or is weed and Mountain Dew? Skinman,
Hold on, I get to give my thing first.
Okay, give me your thing. I've had your thing before. It's not very long, but it's stocky.
There you go. I am not addicted to Code Red or any other kind of pop. I'm addicted to regular unleaded Mountain Dew.
Well, it's leaded. You can't say unleaded because Mountain Dew's as leaded as that gets. It's more caffeine.
Okay, whatever you want to call it. I'm addicted to regular Mountain Dew, not this.
But I still don't. I mean, that would be like me. Okay, I gave up marijuana, but I'm using Delta 8 because I'm addicted to marijuana. I'm not addicted to Delta 8.
But that doesn't taste like Mountain Dew.
What doesn't? Code Red?
Delta 8 doesn't taste like weed.
Yeah, Delta 8 doesn't taste like weed. I mean...
Well, then it's not smoking weed.
It is, though, because I can fail a drug test on it still, and if somebody tested you, you would still have the yellow 5 and all of the other chemicals that are in Mountain Dew, man.
Right here. Carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup,
delicious,
concentrated orange juice, citric acid.
How hard do you think that orange juice concentrated?
It does have yellow 5 in it, though, but
yeah,
it has
I know.
red 40 in it.
Yeah, but I know it has yellow 5. If it has yellow 5, it's Mountain Dew, bro. It's just like if you were all of a sudden drinking Yellow Mellow or Mellow Yellow and saying, "Hey, man, though, but I gave up Mountain Dew." It's still cheating, bro. So, okay, how about this? Normally you're into chicks, right? Well, apparently, supposedly, if all of a sudden you started banging a dude, it would still be cheating. Yeah, but it's different. It's not what I normally do, but it would still be cheating.
It's not Mountain Dew, guy.
Well, we'll see. We'll,
What do you think, Skinman?
It says Mountain Dew on the bottle.
There's not even a debate.
I'm just bragging at this point because I read the bottle when you brought it up.
He forgot his glasses, so I was glad he could.
I didn't need them. That's how close to the camera the bottle was. There it is.
Yeah, I asked 10 people at work today after you sent me that. I didn't tell them my side of what I had given. 3 of them I told what we were both giving up in this time. Get that out of there. Well, they're not our sponsor. Coach Squires is our sponsor.
I thought you were going to say it doesn't count because you're out of town.
Ooh, that would go back to the banging dudes thing, too.
Well, this is June.
That's true. That's not cheating. That's just celebrating Pride Month.
When in June, it's not too soon.
Ooh, I like that. Well, I don't know. I think we'll hear back from listeners, and I think you're going to lose this one. I think that I win whatever contest we were having.
Yeah, that's why I asked, what's the bet?
Now, granted, I've been drinking like a fish, but it's not the same
look at you,
thing.
you're drinking tranny fluid right now. You're transforming.
Listen,
in front of
bud,
our
I am
eyes.
celebrating Pride Month for all of our listeners, for my mom, for the people that Ron Disna Santos is going after. I'm standing. I'm taking a stand, and I might even take a little squatty potty with them or whatever. But I'm standing on my Bud Light and saying, "Let freedom ring." So. Skinman, do you have a story pulled up for me, buddy?
I do.
News with Skinman.
The very last warning for 82-year-old German convicted of dealing drugs.
I want the voice. Oh, sorry, I wasn't going to. I knew
A
it was.
German court says it is giving an 82-year-old man a last warning to avoid jail after he was found guilty of drug dealing, despite 24 previous convictions. The retired seaman, who said he wanted to improve his meager €800 monthly pension by selling marijuana, and handed a suspended sentence by the court in northern town. That is horribly German. It happened on Monday. German news agency Dupa reported the prosecutors had asked the court to impose a prison term of 32 months in view of the man's lengthy criminal record and existing suspended sentence.
Listen, man, last time you're going to sell drugs to my kid and I'm not busting you. Now, granted, I take them from him every time, use them, but no more.
No more, not today.
I wish this guy was my dealer. I mean, I'm glad he's not right now because then I would have some, but.
But judges said they would make an exception and classify the latest crime as less serious offenses due to the man's particular circumstances and recent health problems. Well, he's 82. I mean, just...
Yeah, health is a problem at 82, I would just assume.
You're going to give him 34 months? He might be dead in 34 hours.
He's not going to... That's a life sentence, bro.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is your very last warning. Well, yeah, it just might be.
Well, it doesn't sound like he went to jail, though, did he?
That's where it ends.
All right. Well, how would you handle that as a cop? Like, how do you know? Like, okay. So the reason I brought this up is because I've been watching. Have you ever seen the show To Catch a Smuggler?
I've seen To Catch a Predator.
I know that's different. It's very different. I know you were actually on an episode that got edited out, but that was different. No. There's a show called To Catch a Smuggler, and it's basically guys working airports all around the United States and in other countries, and that's basically what they're doing is picking out and choosing who they search, who, why, what, when, where, all that. And on this last episode, it was like an 86-year-old woman that had brought in what turned out to be like it was liquid cocaine, but it would have been like $680,000 worth of liquid cocaine. I don't know if that's street.
Where'd she have it?
She had it in all these little soap bottles. So they had literally, I don't know how they do it, whatever they do, and then they had shampoo in the just like the top 2 or 3 inches of it. So if you just open it up and look, but like the guys were like, "Oh, shampoo does not normally weigh 6 pounds a bottle, so something seems askew," and they'd start cutting it out and pulling it out, and they're threatening her, and one of the cops goes, "You could get life in prison," and she goes, basically what he just said, that could be tomorrow. And I mean, you'll watch certain people get busted on this show and they're freaking out and they're like, "Do you want to call a lawyer?" And she's like, "Oh no, I'll be out within a couple, whatever." I mean, like no judge is going to convict it. And she's in a wheelchair. She's obese.
Doing bong rips.
No, she wasn't. They'd taken that away from her at this point. But also what I put was,
She's not smoking crack on the tarmac.
I've been watching To Catch a Smuggler. I'm not saying I'm learning, but I'm learning. Those shows are stupid because if you are and I know they don't show you everything, whatever, but
shows
if
you what not to do. Is
exactly,
what
it shows exactly. Like I'm not saying other than maybe my vape pen that they don't even really care about at this point, that I'm trying to do shit back and forth because everywhere I go, most of anything I need is readily available. But I mean, they busted somebody that had 4 suitcases full of just cigarettes. But apparently you buy them in other countries for way cheaper, come here and sell them. And this person they didn't even bust. They were busted their bags and the people left them there. They did the same thing. It was like 4 they estimated the value at like $30,000 worth of cigarettes. I'm like, no, that's not true.
Yeah, 2 of those cartons were duty free.
That's true.
They got no tax stamp or whatever it is.
Well, and the biggest thing is apparently you can bring them in, but you have to pay the tariff and tax stamp to get them in, and so they avoid that because that's what makes them a lot cheaper. But it was just, like I said, those shows, even like To Catch a Predator, it kind of tells you what and what not to do. I'm not saying I root for or against. I'm just saying that it seems goofy. So, I don't know.
Question. Is Skinman barefoot right now?
Skinman is barefoot. He's got his his foot is on his flippy floppy behind him. But yeah,
okay.
he's
I see it in the TikTok. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's relaxed, man. He's
relaxed.
Yeah, he's here to chill, bro. He's got a new boom mic. He's freaking happy.
He's fancy, man.
I told him,
Hands-free, not leaning in as much.
He walked in the studio today because I showed, I sent him the pictures that I sent you guys, and then I was a little mushy last night, and I told him, I appreciate everything you do for the show and as a friend, and
I didn't get that.
Oh, I will never tell you that. I don't appreciate it. No, but I told him
you have some questions to ask yourself, don't you, TJ?
Yeah.
I told him I love him, and it was some weird stuff. And he walks in the studio. First thing he says to me, guess what he says?
Were you drunk last night?
How much were you drinking last night?
Yeah.
And I was only 2 drinks in. I just got off the phone with E. I don't know. I don't really want to get into what's going on.
Let's get into it.
I got to be careful with it, man. I don't know if I have to be careful.
The reason I ask that is because I do the same thing. I will drink and dial like none other.
But I don't normally do that.
But he remembered it though.
That's why I said
but
no.
You didn't tell anybody that you're a god or anything like that.
Nope,
right?
didn't do none of that. Nope.
Okay.
This was a more of, I guess maybe due to that situation, I want the people that know that contribute anything to this show, both listeners, fans, you, TJ, Skinman, E when he comes over. I just want you guys to know I appreciate what you do when you do it. I mean, I know I'm doing everything myself, but I appreciate what you guys do. No.
Ding. Or zing.
Zing. I don't know what that is, but no, it was more just that. It was just, I mean, you guys don't have to do, I mean, I appreciate you guys, logging into Zoom and being there in Dodge City to do our little goofy show that 26 people listen to. And I appreciate any time Skinman drives over, if it's every week, if it's every 3 weeks, whenever it is. I really wanted him to be here this week because I needed him. I needed Skinman energy this week. So,
Granted.
I guess if we dig into it a little bit, we talked about what's been going on at work the last couple shows. I got a weird, I'd kind of talked myself into I'm staying. And I still don't know where I'm at, but I had an opportunity for an interview that I applied for before they finally talked with me and I guess started to make things right with me at work. And I said, man, I'm just stupid to not go hear these people out. And I almost wish I wouldn't have, because here's how it goes. I stopped by Amy's work. I put on slacks that E gave me. I should have known.
Mm-hmm.
E's slacks. Smoothie, Eric, is a guest and a friend on the show. He was part of the old show if you're first time listening. But he's the sexiest man in podcasting. And apparently his slacks have some magic in them because I put those on. First of all, my wife wanted to bang me. I mean, right there at work. My daughter said, Dad, you look hot, and not in a weird way, but like you look good. Amy's boss, a 71-year-old man, walked out and goes, damn, dude, looking sharp. And I said, I didn't do nothing different. It's E's pants, man. It's E's pants.
Yeah.
I walk into this interview, okay, and have you ever been – so I expect to go meet one person. I walk in, there's a guy standing there. I knew he wasn't the guy I was interviewing, but I said, hey, I'm here for an interview at 10. He goes, you Cameron? And I said, yes, I am. I have an interview at 10 o'clock. And he said, all right, Cameron, we'll be right in there. And maybe that wasn't the best thing to do. I admit. But he said, let me assemble the team real quick. And he stepped in the office, and he looked at the one guy. He goes, hey, Cameron's here. And the guy goes, Casey? And he looked down the hallway at me, and I just waved at him. And he walked back up, and he's like, I'm so sorry, Casey. I'm Scott. And he's like, go ahead and have a seat in here. And then I did an interview with 4 people. And
that's how mine was at PEC.
That's how it was?
Yeah.
I've never quite experienced that. I've done, like, even at work.
And at Coke was, in my interview with Coke that I had, it was with 6 people.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and I guess I get it because
that's daunting shit right there.
This is not like a normal position that I'm applying for. It's one that's a little over my head. I don't even know about that. It's not over my head, but it was basically all the department heads wanted to get a little feel of who the guy that they might be touching butts with or hanging out with or whatever that is. But it was, I'm nervous as can be, and they start asking, like, tell me about yourself. I said, well, not very funny. No, a
registered sex offender.
Yeah, all that stuff. No, it was the classic father of 2, 20 years married in a couple days, which is tomorrow, my 20-year anniversary.
Wow.
I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, if she would have killed somebody, she would have been out.
I know. I'm telling you, she could have got out of this life sentence way quicker.
Yeah.
I enjoy woodworking, and I said with wood, not because of Pride Month, and just a just a quick overview. And like I said, I left that meeting going, I don't know, we get done and they said, hey, thank you. We want to get this position filled by the middle of the month, possibly. We'll be in contact. And I just said, hey, just so we know, I do want a little bit of time to think about it. And I have another interview Wednesday, and I'd really like to hear this place out because technically they were the first place I applied. And it's a job, again, that I'm really not qualified for. So if they want to interview me, let's see if I can trick them too. And so then by the end of the day, I get a text and a call where they want to go to lunch and apparently make me an offer. So we'll see how that goes. I didn't sleep a wink last night. My stomach's been torn up. I don't know, I shouldn't feel the way I feel. I should feel really good that there are places that want me, but I just feel,
I think you just need to just relax and just believe in the power of those slacks.
I know. That's a sucky thing is I'm going to have to wear those slacks every day. They're going to wear out. Like I'm going to have to get like where'd you get these slacks? And then I'll have to have him wear them for a couple weeks every time and then give me a pair so that magic doesn't wear off,
It's like that episode of Seinfeld where Jerry's dating that girl and she wears that one dress. She looks really good in it. She's wearing it all the time. And Jerry's like, hey, let's just go back home so you can change. And she's like,
no.
It feels so good. He's like, wait, let's go in. He just wants to see if she has like a whole closet full of the same dresses or just one dress.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for.
So when's your lunch?
Friday. So I got a little time to prepare. There's the other side. What's that?
What if they offered, they're like, hey, Casey, this salary is $200,000 a year. I'm going to need you to eat this steak, bro. If you want to be on this team, we eat fucking meat here.
Well, that's the odd thing about somebody inviting you to lunch because what I'm hoping is I think I got him talked into going to Applebee's, which is black cheddars if you don't know, and or white cheddar, sorry. And they have a nice little pasta bowl there that I don't have to get chicken in, so I think I can just do that. I did tell him I've recently been dieting a little bit, and the one guy goes, "Why? You look like you're anorexic." And I said, "Thank you."
So you didn't answer the question. What if he said $200,000 salary, but we need you to eat this steak?
I'll probably blow a dude for $200,000 salary. So yeah, I'll probably eat a steak. No,
I have to keep it down.
Yeah, the steak or the dude.
Yeah, either way.
I don't know. That thought has actually been in my head. Not them offering me money to eat food, but that thought has been in my head more in the last month or two than ever probably in the last 20 years that I have not eaten meat.
Well, you got to sneak up on it. Start with chicken.
Well, that's where I said I think the only thing I could probably ever go to is chicken because, just to be honest with you, cows gross me out and pigs fucking gross me out. So
What about fish?
I've never liked fish. Maybe a tilapia cooked right or something like that. I could maybe get.
Pollock is a very, very mild
David?
fish.
Oh,
It doesn't even taste like fish. It's pollock. It's
more like chicken, like frog legs, or no?
no, it's not as gamey as frog legs.
So I think my daughter, I'm pretty sure she's back off the wagon. I think she's eating meat again. I even think possibly my wife is. She's listening right now, so she'll let me know or not. Just because her grandma invited her in to eat Costco chicken nuggets like they do it regularly, and that's fine if they do. I'm not even mad anymore. We're married 20 years. I got to get over things. Tomorrow we're married 20 years if we make it.
You walk in tonight and she's like, Casey, I want a fucking divorce.
You listen, I've expected it almost every night that I've walked in for the last 20. So if it happened
you ain't
tonight,
making it to 20 with me, boy.
Well, and here's the thing.
She just chucks a lawn dart right
So
at
you
your
look-
face.
Wearing your ring too?
Yeah, it's on the right hand though, and everybody's making fun of me because I can't wear rings on the left hand. I don't know why. It's weird. So I've been wearing. She got me it's like one of those rubber ones,
Yeah, it's like mine.
Yeah, so she got me one of those just out of the blue. She's like, well, I got myself one, and if you want to wear it, it's fine. And I'm like, oh, it's right before our 20 year. Like, that's fine. I'll wear it here and there. And I've been wearing it since she got it for me. And I went to the right hand, and I told her last night. She hadn't even noticed. I said, I've been wearing it on the right hand. And the guy at work said, why? And she's like, well, it's Pride Month, so maybe people think you're gay, because apparently I'm like, I don't know if that's a thing. I know the right earring was a thing when we were growing up, but I don't know if
I thought it was a left earring.
No, left was the normal. If you wore a right only, that was the supposed to, when we were kids. Now I was the both, or 2 in one, 2 in the other, or whatever.
Yeah.
I never cared. There was plenty of times I wore just a right one, especially June, even before I knew it was Pride Month. So
Okay. You guys talk. I'll be right back.
All right, bye, buddy.
What about the ham bone Prince Albert? Was that straight or gay?
I would say that was straight because it went straight through your wiener.
Right.
So and most of the time guys did that. That was, most of the guys that did that were either super hung or really tiny. So that girl could get the full sensation. So we were just talking about Prince Albert's while you were gone.
Yeah, like the ham bone Prince Albert.
And he said, is that a gay thing or is that straight? And I would consider that straight because it went straight through your pee-pee.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, have you guys ever heard of an anitriptyline?
No, I've heard of an apellade.
And a cornucopia.
No, okay, so it's a piercing that's similar to a Prince Albert. Instead of through the little tip of your foreskin, it goes through the top and the bottom straight through your pee hole. And they call it an anitriptyline.
So you can pee on the wall in the trash
Yeah, you
can
can
at the same time.
you can spray, you can pee on 2 people at once. Like I heard that when R. Kelly was dating multiple girls under the age and wanted to pee on them, he got one of those so he could pee on more than 2 girls at once.
No.
Well, it's like one of those Rainbird half sprays. Yep.
But no, there was a guy I went to high school with that got one, and I think that was the natural thing. And I never considered that gay for a guy to show me his wiener, especially if it was like a piercing or like, hey, look, I feel really hung today. Tell me if I look at, I'm like, yeah,
He's
show
like,
me.
hey, I think this looks bigger in your mouth, Casey. Just put it in here and see what
Yeah,
happens.
get it close. No, I never tried
It'll probably
that.
grow on you.
It feels bigger in your mouth, not looks bigger because you can't see it in there. But anyways,
Do you like scope? Swish this around.
but I remember he said, "Hey man, I got a piercing," and I thought, okay, it's a Prince Albert. I've seen one. I don't really need to see it. And he pulled it out, and I said, "What the?" Because it was like 2 days after, and that thing looked like it was mad at him for doing it. And
I'm sure it was.
I can hang a 2-liter off of it.
I'm like, why, man? Oh man, the girls fucking dig it, man. They're gonna fucking love it. I'm like, bro, I've had the girl with the mouth ring or the thing. I don't know that it ever really. I don't know that it mattered or whatever, but that was the weirdest thing to me to ever pierce your junk. I'm not a junk piercer, and there's no
Seems
reason.
strange.
And I guess if you're small and you wanted, like Skinman just said, hang some weights off of it to maybe stretch it out or something, that would make a little bit more sense.
And just thump it with a spoon every now and again.
TJ, you had something, but before we did that, we did have we had a call come in.
Okay.
And we'll see how this sounds. I think he's getting anxious.
Is it a voicemail?
Hello.
Yes.
45 and future 47 here. Did you know if
My
you
man.
combine that, you get Biden's age and the year my favorite president besides me got elected? TJ, I was super excited to hear from you last week and would love to finally do our interview next week when you were back in studio. Sleepy Joe is so old that when he was a kid, Dodge City still had dirt roads and people riding horses. Speaking of horses, has anyone even seen Ron Nut Santos' birth certificate? 'Cause he looks pretty Mexican to me. The liberal Coach Casey is still not allowed in studio for our interview. I was super excited to see Skinman back last week and hope he's there for our interview next week. Let's make America and your podcast great again with our interview. Your next president, Donald Trump, out.
Dude, that is so awesome. I got so many questions for President Trump.
You know what's funny is I actually have
I do have a question of where are you going to be?
I'll just probably step out. I'll probably like
Okay.
I think when he calls from one of those secured lines. So like to get a good clear call, I'll probably go stand up and maybe hold the antenna up or something just to
That's
make
probably
sure.
a good idea.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the call comes through clear. So
It's a jitterbug phone, isn't it?
yeah, he's got one with the big giant buttons on it.
Fuck liberals. Tweet
Listen,
now.
tweet that out.
So no, I'm He actually left like 3 other voice messages. I think he was practicing on I don't think he realized that every time it goes through, I could actually get his voicemail. So
It's like back in the day when you call your girlfriend, you're like, "Fuck you."
yeah, they're like
bitch.
hit
I'll
7
fucking
to
kill you,"
go
and you're
through
like,
or
"No, I
9
didn't
to
like that."
replay it or to re-record.
Listen to it and like, wow, that sounded bad. I will fucking kill you.
Yeah, there was a couple of those. He had one where he was it was like 40 attacks on me. He was just like it was actually my favorite one, but I figure I'll save that. I don't want to run him off before the show.
So he was
Yeah,
drinking
probably
and
not.
dialing.
He might have been. He doesn't do drugs and alcohol, but every
He's
once
straight edge.
in a while he gets pretty drunk and starts just calling random shows and just getting all Donald on us. So I'm pretty excited for that. So next week, if everything works out,
Donald.
if everything works out, our interview with the I guess future 47's what he's pretty stuck on it. And if you're watching the polls and watching how now we have 476, I believe, or 478 Republicans running. So they're only going to do what they did. I'm waiting for Jeb Bush to announce, like, that's the one guy I could get, give me a Bush. We're missing a Bush. We've went Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Bush, would just fit right in there perfect. So I don't think it's going to happen, but this week, I don't know if he's announced yet, Chris Christie and Pence are going to both come out, and neither one of those
He did today.
Okay, neither one of those make zero sense to me. I mean, there was literally a whole crowd of people walking around talking about hanging Pence this time 2 years ago or 3 years ago or whatever. That doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. It's just more fodder for the show. So, what else do you have, buddy?
It can be incredibly heartbreaking for a dad to learn that their child really isn't theirs because their partner was unfaithful. At some point, never confess to it. However, it can always be worse. And it sure was for one man who took to TikTok to explain what happened to him. So how did this happen? Well, the man's grandfather... Huh?
You said, how did it happen? I was hoping you were going to tell us.
Yeah. Well, the man's grandfather invited him and his girlfriend to stay with him. And during that time, the man's girlfriend wound up having an affair with his grandfather. which led the baby boy,
got
which was
game.
his son, to become his uncle.
Ooh. Okay. So this is a story out of Little Rock where Smoothie's listening to us
I think
tonight.
these are people like Lee.
Okay.
People.
Are you trying to say black?
Yes.
Okay.
It turns out his grandfather has done stuff like this before, because a man captioned his TikTok post, "Can't believe I expected more from a man that had a whole other family around the corner from my granny's house." In a follow-up post, the man says he still wants to be a part of his uncle's life,
Sunkle.
but also questions why his grandfather would hurt him like this. In a different video, he describes how he found out saying his girlfriend's phone kept pinging, so he checked to see what was going on, saw the texts were from his grandfather.
Yo,
Then he
bitch, show me
found
that. Show me that sack.
Yeah, he found years worth of messages from his granddad, including pictures and explicit stuff.
What the? Of course, I guess like a lot of times, like granddad could still be 52 when the son's
he could be
41 and the kid is 36. So I mean, that doesn't completely.
Yeah.
Timelines do add up if you
I
just.
think granddad was 36.
Okay. So that brings up a very horrible memory for me growing up. Okay. My mom's dad had a second family with a black woman and had 4 kids that literally lived 2 blocks down from where my mom and family grew up.
No shit.
Yeah. And literally came home one day to, he decided he was leaving his, we'll call him the white family, for the other family. And I mean, lived his life out with them. My mom I never met him once. My mom never seen him again. But as he was dying, one of my cousins and one of my mom's sisters reunited with him. And like my mom's like, I would have liked to too, because I mean, I would have liked to held the pillow, but no, she don't hold no grudge. But that just is weird that, I mean, it was like, and I think it was a lady that my grandma might even worked with at one point. I mean, like day to day, was like close to, and literally was having kids with the man that was but they always wondered like, well, you shouldn't have to pay child support to nobody because you're with your wife and I got to pay this child support this month, It was like, well, yeah. So that's a little bit inside of Casey. I got a second black family out there somewhere, and my grandpa was adopted. So so I have, I don't know. I don't know who I am, what I am. So
I think the story's fantastic because it's a very good parenting point, because you could tell your daughter is like, have fun on your date tonight, but don't be like your whore mother.
I think a lot of dads say that to their kids when they go, oh no, not me, but certain ones do. Skinman?
Yep, this one is for TJ.
News.
Small ears, buddy.
Man passes 80-pound weight from hand to hand 100 times in 21 seconds.
TJ.
Are you up for the challenge?
This is a world record I think you can break.
This?
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to watch the video. I think he's leaned over.
He's got a GoPro on his
Yeah, I
forehead.
think he's leaned over and he's doing it left to right. I don't know if there's like a certain amount of distance that you need to reach.
You have to send me that clip.
It's a quick story, and then we can talk about what the bet's going to be.
Okay.
An Idaho man with more than 250 Guinness World Records to his name attempted to add another title by passing an 80-pound weight from hand to hand 100 times in 21 seconds. David Rush is in a hurry, who previously took the 20-pound, 40-pound, 60-pound versions of the same record, passed the 80-pound weight from hand to hand in 21 seconds.
What kind of weight? Was it a dumbbell or was it like a kettlebell?
It's a dumbbell.
It's a dumbbell.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Is there a 100-pound record? Maybe I could try that.
Well, you might want to start low with 80.
Yeah, let's try to break this guy's record because I don't know. We got to beat this guy. He's got 250. We need to have him have 249.
He needs to quit fucking honey dicking all the records.
I
and
know,
let us
that's what
have
I'm
one.
saying. But like, if we could find all these dumb, obscure ones, and we could, I will line up getting the Guinness people here. We've got cameras. We have all the stuff to do, and we need to at least take like one afternoon with me, you, and Skinman, and try to break some. We'll even like
something, yeah.
Yeah, some goddamn record. We need to get the middle of the road podcast
There
in the
might
Guinness
be
book.
something with a 10-pound.
Okay.
Okay, we'll have to look into these.
Is there somebody with dying legs? Like, we looked for some records up, like the dying legs then broke the record type thing.
Okay.
So that was the end of it?
Yeah, that was it.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it?
Oh,
What were you going to say, buddy?
if we're gonna list the top 10 WWE finishers of all time, what would be your number one?
I guess probably that jackhammer. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That jackhammer finished 137 people in a row, or whatever.
That's not on here.
Really?
Suplex is on there.
No, because that's not even.
No.
I'm guessing like the tombstone pile driver's on there.
Number two.
I'm guessing the like last ride or like the choke slam or of some sort is on there.
There's not a choke slam on
What
here.
about like that some sort of power bomb, like because I mean like Nash's power bomb, he was the worst wrestler in history to me personally, but that power bomb was
Power bomb is not on here.
okay. What about a rock bottom?
Rock bottom number 3.
See, that's stupid.
You're missing the number one is like everybody's favorite.
The super
fucking
kick.
one.
The elbow?
No. Super kick, Sweet Chin Music will be number 5.
Okay. FU? F5?
The F5 is number 8. The Attitude Adjustment's number 7, which is the FU.
Oh,
yeah.
Stunner, the Stone Cold Stunner.
Number 1.
But let's be honest with you. Is a Stone Cold Stunner or a jackhammer more effective?
Well, it's about what everybody's. I think I can tell you on this list, there is no WCW people on here.
I know, but I'm just saying. Okay, is a spear on there?
The jackhammer, though, the thing with the jackhammer is nobody could. I guess only Goldberg's the only one that's ever done it.
And nobody can do it like that. There's nobody that could
It's
make
hard.
that. Nobody could make.
That's up there with the flying butt pliers.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Is there a Hurricanrana on there?
Hurricanrana, no.
All right.
Okay, you're missing the other one, which is kind of like a WCW one. That somebody from WCW
Figure
does.
4 or
Sharpshooter's on here,
okay.
number 9.
Which is that would go to Bret Hitman Hart or my boy
Yeah.
Sting, which is called a Stinger or a Scorpion Deathlock.
Hold on, here we go. Ready?
Oh, that's what's his name's Randy Orton's.
Yes, RKO number 4. You're missing one. It'd be the number 6.
I'm out of.
Oh no, you're missing 10. Number 10 and number 6.
I was gonna say I've guessed like 6 of them. I couldn't be missing 10 if there's only 10.
No,
I don't know what's number 6 and 10.
Pedigree is number
See,
6.
again, that's like the most pussy finisher. It was just by who, and I get it, but those are not. Those are maybe most iconic finishers of all time, but they're not
and
the
number
best.
10, Spear for Edge.
Yeah, but see it again.
Which
Spear's
Edge's
edge
Spear
wasn't
sucks.
a quarter of your boys or of Goldberg's.
Yeah,
which is
or Goldberg's.
Goldberg's
yeah.
wasn't. I mean, he was literally a spear because he broke people in half when he hit them with it.
Yeah, he was literally cutting in people in half.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked about this earlier, and this goes along with it. Your Mount Rushmore of Attitude Era wrestlers.
Well, Skinman will probably be out of this one. I mean, he could just say 4 people he knows. I want to guess Skinman's real quick.
Let's just
Junkyard
have Skinman
Dog.
name 4 wrestlers.
Junkyard Dog, Jimmy Fly, Super Snuka, which I found out recently he was a really bad dude.
Yeah, he's a murderer.
Yeah, murderer. I'm gonna go for
Dewdrop.
Yeah, Dewdrop, Attitude Era, and then my other one for him would be Razor Ramon. My top 4 Attitude Era. See, that's where we talked about this right before the show. That was when I was out of WWE because I was all WCW at that time. But I would definitely put Vince McMahon on there because he created that era, and that was when he was yoked out and roided out. And TJ's gone. Oh, he's back. He just switched it. I don't know what he did there. And then honestly, I mean, to me, it would have probably been like Triple H at that time because he was stealing the show. It would have been Rock because that was when he was really just taking off, and then it would be Stone Cold.
So do it again. You're 4.
Vince McMahon,
Vince.
Triple H, Stone Cold, and The Rock.
Okay.
And I know
Mine
Rock
would
was
be-
a little bit later than the Full Attitude Era, but that was when
I mean, he was in it. I mean,
that's
he
when
was
he
in it
came
from the
on
very
in his.
start.
That's what I said. That's when he came on like as the biggest part of him. So those would be the 4 that I tuned in to give a shit about. Who are yours?
I would go Vince. I'd say Stone Cold number 1, Vince number 2. I would put Shawn Michaels in there. And then,
You're just a sexy boy. Ooh, ooh.
I mean, because
You just made
really,
the list.
Shawn Michaels and DX were the biggest part of what made
They were
the
trying.
Attitude Era,
DX
you know,
got
'cause they were-
formed because of the NWO.
How about I do this? I just say, I'll say, so I can add more people. I'll just go Stone Cold, Vince McMahon, DX, because that covers all those guys.
Okay.
And then I'd say The Rock.
Okay.
A lot of guys would want to say The Undertaker, but he was around way before the Attitude Era.
Well,
So, I mean,
but that was when he went into that full biker badass mode. Was
Yeah.
right in there.
Yeah,
and
when he's like
the American
rolling,
badass and rolling
rolling.
in on the bike and stuff. So he was probably one. I mean, he was the guy that people would freak out as he rode that bike around the arena and
that
stuff.
was badass.
And you could even put, because I think, Booker T hadn't switched over yet, I don't think, at
No.
that point, because he went
A
over
lot
in
of
the
guys
merger.
guys are going with Mankind too, which
Yeah.
Yeah, I
know,
mean,
when-
Mankind would be my number 2. My number 1 would be Piper, Roddy Piper.
Yeah, and I think he was
was-
showing up by a little bit and then, but it was pretty much gone at the actual
Yeah.
Attitude Era.
And then the Bushwhackers.
Yep. Okay. His list is the best so far.
Because
you know that-
people would love to hate Piper for no reason.
Very true. He was
Were
the.
you watch?
What were you
Did
saying?
you watch very much of last night?
Did I?
Yeah.
Just when I started texting you was all I watched
Okay.
last
So you
night.
didn't see the Miz TV part?
No.
Oh my God. It was Miz TV with Cody and Miz, and then he brought out Dom, and he was talking into the mic, and they were booing him so fucking loud you couldn't even hear him.
They were to Dom.
Yeah, it's so.
Oh yeah,
I've
because
never seen
dude,
anything
it's
like
crazy
that.
how I didn't even realize it still today how popular Rey Mysterio still is.
He is.
You know, I mean,
And then
he is
they just-
beloved.
They hate him so much, and it's good hate. It's not like you suck hate. It's like booing him out of the fucking building. And even first Miz goes, "Everybody be quiet so we can hear him talk." And then Cody Rhodes was like, "Come on, guys, don't boo Dom." And then it just got worse. And then Rhea was like, "Everybody be quiet, don't boo my Dom." And then it just got louder and
Did
louder.
they start
It was
taking
fucking
names?
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I just seen recently that Rhea Ripley actually she's like the number 1 trending person
Trending
on TikTok.
Yeah. Or number
And-
1 most followed on TikTok, more than anybody for the Yankees.
Yeah, there was
It's at like 2 million people.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I think she's not literally the most followed, but compared to any WWE wrestler, they
Yeah.
were naming all kinds of things. So that's kind of crazy. But apparently, if you DM her, she'll show you some man boobs. So that might be what's getting people.
I guess we better not do that.
What's that? DM her so you see no man boob?
Yeah. You can. Then just show me what she sends you.
Oh well, I'll do that, buddy. I've been in her DM since day one.
My man.
Well, that links right up to what I was gonna say. I've been watching that biography WWE Legends, and recently I watched like a Mankind one. I watched Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes, baby.
I watched the Iron Sheik one was actually one of my favorite ones I've watched in a long time, and mainly because I've been trying to get you to follow that guy on Twitter forever. He was.
I've always followed him.
Okay, well,
back when he was on Howard Stern all the time, and he'd be like, "I'll fuck your ass," and he just gets so mad. At
I just
everybody.
love when he would just go 3 hours on Twitter just going off on Hulk Hogan. Man, that was the best.
You son of a bitch,
you
Hulk
son of a bitch,
Hogan.
jabroni motherfucker! I smash your
break your
head.
back and fuck your ass.
Man, if you are looking somebody to follow, first go follow the middle of the road, Coach Casey, and then go follow Iron Cheek, and then go follow TJ's Black Twitter account.
Don't follow my Black Twitter account.
Oh, okay. But just watching the drugs and the abuse, I mean, it didn't matter who the guy was, if it was the Hart family, if it was... Also, I didn't realize that British Bulldog was banging Hart's estranged wife when he died. And
Yeah, he was married to Hart's sister, and then he was dating one of the other brothers.
Yeah, I can't remember what Hart,
wives.
the ugliest, goofiest Hart, not Owen,
It was one of the ones that wasn't very famous.
Yeah, he made it. He was a tag champion, I guess, for a minute.
It wasn't cheating though, because they were sisters.
Well,
yeah,
but yeah,
it's crazy. You go back and look at it, and you're like, man, British Bulldog had it been like 50. He was like fucking 30 something years old.
Yeah, they said 38 when he
us.
died. Man, that's
of a heart attack.
That's crazy. And then they say it's natural causes, maybe coaxed on by a lot of cocaine and steroids, but natural causes, nevertheless, enlarged heart from cocaine and steroids. But he died naturally.
I mean, like Eddie Guerrero, a lot of those guys were like us. They were in their late 30s.
Yeah, he was truly in his late 30s. I'm getting ready to roll finally into my 40s this year. I'll turn 42. So
yeah, you'll be in your very early 40s.
My marriage is in its late teens, tonight.
Yeah. Yep.
I have I've been married longer than my son is old, We actually, not my daughter.
That's the way it's supposed to be though.
She was the I guess supposed to be, but she was the reason we got married, because everybody was giving us shit. So I'm out doing some work in the shop the other day, and a song kicks on and it goes, I know you're not supposed to talk about Pride Month, but here at Charmin, we do it anyway. And then it's keep that hiney extra clean because you never know what's going to be in between. Something at Charmin, we celebrate Pride Month. And, man, I'm like, they're canceled, And apparently they've been doing this every year for a couple of years. And, I use Angel Soft, and I did not know it was because I was anti-Charmin. But no, that was it. Like, I'm literally like, because they usually say, you're not supposed to talk about going to the bathroom in public. So we're going to sing about it, and
okay.
It was just very unique to hear, keep that hiney extra clean because you never know what'll be in between. And it was just, I can't find the song. I wanted to have it for the show tonight, and I can't, and I apologize. So if somebody finds that commercial or can record it and send it to us, I will have that on the board. So we did have one thing. I've got a new hype man for the show, and he's been traveling the country trying to get us more followers. And
spreading the news about our show.
he's going all over the place. So I had a little bit of him. He sent in a little thing at one of his speeches. He was out. I think he was standing in front of a Walgreens and had assembled the crowd. So we're just going to go get a listen on him. Okay.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. We're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House.
So,
well,
with a pitch man like that, we should be worldwide very
soon.
Rogan
better watch the fuck out.
Yeah, Rogan, we're coming for you. If you'd have us on your podcast, it would help us a little bit.
I know. I've been texting him, and he just don't respond.
I've been in his DM since day one, too, and guess what? Nothing. I do
Maybe
have
like my wife message him.
Ooh, there you go. Maybe start with like a couple tit pictures, and then.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets us on Joe Rogan's podcast.
I'll be honest with you. At this point, I would love to be on his podcast, obviously, but I'd much rather go on with like Bobby Lee. I couldn't do Theo Vaughn probably.
Bobby Lee's a freak.
But I would love to do Bobby Lee's podcast. I mean, I'd love to do Rogan's. I'd like to do.
You talking about Bobby Lee and the redheaded dude, or just Bobby Lee by himself?
Either one, but the one with him and the redhead dude, because their energy is fucking awesome. Their clips have just they're all over in my feed now, and almost every one of them is great. That one where he keeps playing that. Take you down to Chinatown. He's like, don't play it. And then he's like, ding, ding, dong. I'll take you down to China. All right, I'm a ninja now.
The white lady doing it. That pisses him off the most.
It makes me laugh. That that makes me smile. So we did have I won't do that one right now. What else you got, buddy?
That's all I got for us.
We're about done. Skinman, did you want to do your last story, or do we want to figure out why it's called taking a dump, not leaving one?
That is the question of the week.
TJ, you said you had some insight on why they call it taking
do.
a dump and not leaving a dump.
Well, Lee told me when he was going to school, is when he was like younger and he was traveling the world. He was in the Philippines. He told one of his friends, he goes, "Hey, I gotta go take a shit." And he goes, "Take a shit? Where are you taking it?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "I gotta go take a shit." And he goes, "Well, where are you gonna take it?" And he goes, "We say leave a shit because you're gonna leave it where you put it." So I think that's the reason why they say leave a shit. So ever since Lee said that out here, me and him are like, "Hey man, I gotta go leave a shit." We don't say take a shit.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say, where do you? Of course, I guess if it's in you and you're taking it to the bathroom to leave it, I'm gonna take my shit into the bathroom and leave it, maybe, yeah. So
that's an interesting take on it.
What's your take on it?
It was, I think, the same question was brought up to the band Great White.
Okay.
And then they had the song "Once Bitten, Twice Shy."
Okay.
Because I think originally it was written "Once Taken, Twice Shy." So once you reach down in the toilet and then take that shit, you'll never do it again because you're twice as shy from taking the shit out of the toilet.
Okay. Well, yeah,
I would
because
assume that would do it.
Well, I guess if like you grew up and your family was like a very literal family, and they're like, "Boy, you go take a shit right now. You go take a shit." And he goes over there and he leaves it for a second, leaves his body, and then he takes it back and he's like, "Here, Dad, look, I took a shit."
I threw it at Daddy and I missed and it hit the wall.
Speaking of that, we out here we have
been
our
throwing
office
shit on the
and we have
wall. Okay.
Well,
Weird
literally there's
segue,
shit
but
everywhere out here. I told the superintendent out here. I said, "Where do you guys shit in that hot ass porta potty all the time?" He goes, "Yeah, it's okay." So we can go over to our office and shit. I was like, "But you got to leave it in there for the next guy so they can tell if they can beat you or not." And he was like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah,
listen.
don't
Everything's a competition, bro."
I was like, don't flush it, leave it in there. I was like, I got to see if whenever I come in there to leave a shit, if I can beat you or not. So,
well, there's an honor system involved with that too. You might want to have them take a tape measure and then take a picture of it and then mark the numbers on the wall.
We just do a tally mark on the bowl. You reach down in there and you put a line on where it touches in the bowl, and that's how you know.
Well, see, and like, there's different ways to judge craps because, like, lately, mine, like, I've been on this, which we didn't quite get to that, but my detox that I've been on gets all those nasties out of your body, but it's a lot of gribblies coming out. It's not a lot of, like, they're not, like, it's not liquid, but it's not solid.
So it's like gumbo.
So if we could judge by how much the water level goes up, I could win some shits, but if we're just judging by like wraps or circles around, then, I'm losing, man.
So is it more like a tortilla soup or
no,
jambalaya?
Chili? Like a thick chili? So
so
pretty gross.
Pretty gross. I'm sorry. Well, listen, we're talking about taking shits, leaving them, and should you take detox advice from a chick with all black teeth?
Yes.
Okay. Because I went in to get a 5-day cleanse. It wasn't just for drugs. It was to try to get all these toxins out of my body. I've been feeling like shit. I keep hearing all of these things make you feel better. So I went in. She said, "This is the one you need. This one works every time." And she said, "I do meth on the day that I take my tests, and this works." So I said, "Okay, I'm in, but I don't do meth."
I saw somewhere that you could cut up half up an onion and put socks on and then go to sleep, and you wake up in the morning and the onion will be black.
Really? Gets all the toxins out of your body? I think I've seen stuff like that. I've heard it with pumpkin, but
yeah,
like pumpkin-filled socks. I'll try it. I'm always down to get some toxins out. The only other thing I had before we go, and I should save it for next week, but I have a new rule for handicap plates. They need to have what the handicap is on the plate, because if it's just fat or if it's just, whatever, like blind in one eye or something like that, I want to like when they cut me off or they drive like an asshole, I don't want to feel so bad when I flip them off. If they're missing a leg or they've got a true handicap, then they deserve to drive like an asshole and be mad all the time. But if you're just fat and got a fucking tag, then I want to fucking know when I'm pulling up beside you what your handicap is. So when I fucking flip you off and then swerve at you, that I'm not going to potentially make you lose another leg or whatever that is. You know, maybe you were in a traumatic car wreck and you've got a brain injury. Well, then again, you have a reason to drive bad. But if you're just fat, or even like an old person, like if it said handicap, old as balls, or, you know, just like showed like a cane on there or something, you pull it beside him, you're like, yeah, I'm not flipping him off. That could be my grandpa, my uncle, you know, whatever. But if it's like handicap and then it's like whatever, like the BBW or, you know, something like that, then I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. You know, that's a self-given handicap, and that shit fucking, I'm going to flip them off. Because I've been getting cut off and then like brake checked more by handicap people lately than I ever have in my life. And I don't know if they're looking for another handicap to mess with, but
that's, you know, why they know.
They found the wrong one. Well, yeah, you're right. I have a handicap on mine that just shows two little shriveled legs. They look like a pirate, two fucking stick legs going up, but it's just two of them going up. And then I do have a parrot on my shoulder on mine, so that probably they're real
that's
confused.
That's a giveaway.
Like, yeah, like handicap for pirate. No, that's the freaking handicap for peg legs, man. So, anybody else got anything before I end this horrible show? I mean, this great show that I screwed up today? No.
Well, I'm not going to argue with the Dread Pirate Click Clack.
Okay. TJ, what do you think about handicaps?
I support everyone.
All right, I do too.
Well, I tell you what, you're speaking of that. I told you about how when you go from a big diesel pickup and you have a PT Cruiser, you get zero respect. And then people treat you like that. But now that I drive a company vehicle around a lot, I can't be motherfucking people like I used to all the time.
You can't look at them when you do it. Like, you got to drive by screaming, but not staring at them. You fucking piece of shit. You just don't stare at them. They think you're on this, you know, your phone or whatever. And you, like me, I flip forward off a lot, or I'll like flip off behind me when I'm driving by people that, you know, they're like, what? Who is he flipping off? Like, so.
Yeah, I've had to straighten up.
Well, I'll say this to the handicapped person that recently cut me off.
Apology accepted.
Guys, I had fun. I'm in a little bit of a weird mindset. I apologize. I'm not in a good way. I've been stomach tore up, head tore up. I'll get over this. I'll make a decision. We're going to be here every week, whether you like it or not.
And I'll be back next week.
Yeah,
in
TJ's
studio
back.
Interviewing the president.
That's going to be fun. Hopefully Skinman's here next week. We'll make sure we set it up to where he can be here for the interview, because I know he wants some questions as well. His will be the question.
We got to know Skinman's questions for sure.
Well, I appreciate everybody. How are we going out tonight?
However you want, buddy. Alex Jones.
And I'll finish with this. Throughout my life, I've done alcohol and I've done marijuana. I'm a product of the 60s. And I can assure you, I've misbehaved far more on alcohol than I ever have on marijuana.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I thought it was terrific. It was clean. It was nice.
Goodbye.
Later, buddy.
Have a good week.
See ya.